So hi and welcome to another Tech Tuesday, and today we're going to be reviewing the Razer Naga Hex V2 Chroma. This is a MMO/MOBA gaming mouse from Razer that you can also use for FPS or just general day-to-day work, but they specifically market it towards the MMO/MOBA gaming mouse. In these videos I just go through a quick bit of detail on my personal opinion. I bought these products myself. I want to let you guys know and girls what I think of them. I won't go into too much technical detail, but I will tell you the specification, and I'll generally give my pros and cons at the end, as well as some of the styling tips and to show you some footage throughout the video. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you do want to see some more, hit that like button and also subscribe so I know that you want to see some more of these, and I'll keep them coming every Tuesday. So first off, this has got a 16,000 dpi G5 laser sensor built into it that's capable of up to 211 inches per second with 50 G acceleration. Doesn't really mean too much to me, but you know, it sounds good. It's got 1,000 ultra polling and 1 millisecond response. That's how quickly it can pick up your information. It's hosting the standard USB gold-plated connector from Razer, and it comes in the cable length at 2.1 meters or 7 foot, depending which metric you're using. Like I've already said, it's an MMO/MOBA gaming mouse, which is specifically what the market's for. It comes in approximate size of 119 millimeters or 4.68 inches. In length, it's 75 millimeters wide or 2.9 inches, and its height is around 43 millimeters or 1.69 inches. It weighs in at 1.35 grams or 0.3 pounds with the cable, and it's a right-handed mouse. Price-wise, in the UK it's £74.99, Great British pounds, and in the US it's $79.99. These specs are from Razer's website prices, so you might find a bargain out there. Take a look. So functionality-wise, let's look at the main feature, which is this hex configuration, which hosts 7 mechanical buttons, which Razer are calling the thumb wheel. Don't really get that because it's not really a wheel, it's just a configuration, but okay. Inside the hex formation, it's also got a rubberized thumb grip, so it doesn't slip around. It's got the standard left and right mouse buttons on the top, which we come accustomed on all mice. It's also got a tilt scroll wheel, which you can press down, and you can press left and right as well as scrolling through. It's also got, on the side that I've not noticed before, a ring finger rest. Found that on the Ouroboros, it was a little bit in the middle of nowhere. And then it's got like a rubber pad where your little finger is on the right hand side, which is quite cool, so it allows you to grip the mouse pretty well. Styling wise, as you can see, it's got the Razer good looks. It's also got the rubber plastic feel. It feels a bit like the Death Adder, maybe a little bit more grippy, but it's got that kind of like texturized rubber plastic feel that I think most of Razer mice tend to have. I haven't found one without it. It's obviously got the braided USB cable that all Razer products now seem to come with as well, which is great. On the underside here, you can see it's got 3 feet pads, which allowed it to glide around. Razer might call this the Zero Acoustic Ultra Slick Mouse Feel. Okay, each to their own. It's 3 pads underneath, and they're pretty standard. You don't hear any noise, and they glide around on the desk. But you know, going forward, it also comes with the full Chroma effects, boasting the 16.8 million customizable colors, which are configurable in the Razer Synapses software. If you check the end of this video, you'll see these going through the ranges in different scenarios, light, dark, next to my other devices, to give you an idea of what this looks like. Razer have also included the inter-device color synchronization, which allows it to match all your other Razer products, so they all do the same effect. So this is now currently matching my Black Widow, and it's also matching my Razer Chroma Orb Weaver. So getting into some of my points here, I'll go for the cons first and I'll finish with the pros. So some of the cons are, the mouse has performed great on a Scarab. I think it's a Battlefield 3 one that I had, which is a hard surface mat. The mouse was really good. I felt it was really responsive. And then I decided to change it out, my mouse mat, for a Razer Firefly cloth. Now, I found that when I changed it out, it did feel to me like it was a little bit sluggish, like it was kind of laggy. And that's more around just the way it feels. In the games, it's been performing fine, but I felt, to me, it feels like just maybe it was more precise and I wasn't used to it because I was used to the hard plastic. Not just, I don't think, this Razer Hex, but unfortunately that's what I've tried it on. It felt weird at first. I'm probably taking a bit of getting used to, but I'm going to swap it out for a Razer Firefly hard mat and just continue there. I think it'll be fine. It was fine on my Scarab, so something to bear in mind. If you've got a cloth mouse mat, you might be used to it. I'd swapped from a hard to a cloth, so you know, it probably wasn't a very fair test. And that was one of the issues that I have with it. So I've swapped over from my Ouroboros to this Hex, which was a wireless mouse. The Ouroboros, I never really felt I had any lag, which was unusual because most wireless mice do. And I found the cable is a little bit long. I've got a lot of extra cable, but that's not really a negative. That's just one of my personal gripes. The other personal gripe I've got is the little rubber pad where the thumb hex button is, and the left hand side where your little finger is tend to pick up a bit of dust and get a bit dirty. So no major gripes. Pros, Going forward, I've swapped, like I say, for my Razer Ouroboros. I originally decided just to kind of buy the Hex here and just give it a bit of a whirl and just play around with it. I've got a Death Adder. Don't particularly think it's great. It's just a standard mouse to me. I wanted something a bit more special, which is why I had the Ouroboros. So I got the Hex just to try it out and give a bit of my thoughts on it, because I like the button configuration and I wanted a mouse with some more buttons, because the Ouroboros has only got 6-ish, if you include the left side of it where you lock fingers, which are quite awkward to touch. So the first thing to have to buy is I've swapped out my Ouroboros. I don't want it anymore now. I want this Razer Hex. I certainly prefer it over it. It's a lot better. It's nothing to do with the DPI. I don't go anywhere near that. I'm using like 2000 tops. It's just the feel of the mouse is much nicer now. You know, the Ouroboros is 3 years old, so I can't complain. It's going strong. It's a great mouse, but I'm liking the Hex. I like the Hex for the reason that it's got a lot more button configuration, quick access on the thumb wheel, as they call it, Razer. So playing things like MMOs is a lot better. Playing things like Armour is a lot easier for me because I use an Orb Weaver at the same time, so I haven't got all the keyboard accessibility to me that easily unless I move my hand. Having this additional functionality on the right really does help me. I do find that I could have bought a Naga Chroma standard or the Epic one, and the button, because the square is quite a lot of buttons to press, and I could make a lot of mistakes, and it was just too many buttons. That's why I never picked it in the first place. So this Hex is a good kind of compromise between them. The mouse, like I say, has got some great tracking. It has got some, well, I feel like it's got some issue with this cloth pad, but I think it's probably just me. It's my personal response feeling. It's very accurate. I've had no problems sniping or anything like that in Battlefield or playing Armour or MMOs, you know, or even just in the general desktop. It is really, really accurate. And the button clicks are really nice. It's got quite short travel on the left and right mouse buttons. The Hex buttons are quite nice as well. They're kind of clicky, but they're not too deep in terms of a press. They're quite quick. The weight of the mouse is perfect. I really like the way it feels. That 135 grams is spot on for me. You can't change the weight, but I don't really need to. This is perfect, this weight for me. The mouse also fits in your hand very well. I've got a palm grip. The reason why I picked the Orb Weaver originally over any other mouse at the time was it was like, if you look at it, you can customize the length of it and the way the buttons are. And that really drew towards me because that was I could get the perfect fit in my hand, and I was a bit concerned when swapping that I would have some issues with that, but this Hex fits into my hand perfectly in a palm grip with no issues. It doesn't move around, and it allows me to, you know, control the mouse really well, especially with that little ring finger kind of slot in the side. It reminds me of a clutch rest on a manual car or on an automatic. Your left leg can sit on the side, if you're in the UK anyway. The other thing that's really good is these rubber pads. So although I do slate them a little bit because they get quite dirty and they're a bit of a pain in the ass to clean, is that they allow you to grip the mouse really well, which is exactly why they're there. So, you know. So one of the other problems you have with the Naga Chroma, or I think you would have, is you can't apply pressure side to side on it because you're going to push the buttons because of the square configuration. Because of this rubber pad in the middle of the 7 Hex buttons here, you can, and on the left hand side you can squeeze it, so you can squeeze it between your thumb and your little finger. So you don't have any issues trying to hold the mouse. If you say trying to move left really quickly or right, you can push it. So there's no issue there, and that really does work. I use this mouse not just for MMO or MOBAs, I use it for FPS, I use it for general desktop work. This mouse is pretty good all-rounder. I've got no issues with it whatsoever, and it's a great product. I really do like it. Like I say, I've swapped out my Ouroboros for this. So we're at the end now. Thanks for watching this. If you'd like to see some more, hit the like button. If you want to follow me, hit the subscribe button. I'll be doing a lot more reviews on probably Razer products as well as other things. It's not just Razer. Some people have suggested I do it on the SteelSeries Rival 500 MOBA gaming mouse. So if you want me to do that, put it in the comments below and say yes, please do this SteelSeries mouse. I'll take a look at it. I've never used SteelSeries before, so it'll be quite interesting. Quite happy to try it. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you all later. Cheers. Bye bye.